Late at night, you'll usually find one light burning on the top floor of a city's tallest skyscraper. That window belongs to Ethan Cross. At 32, Ethan's life is defined by absolute corporate control. He oversees 3 companies, owns a private island, and commands a net worth of $4.7 billion. But there is one data point Ethan can't account for. On the left, his net worth reaches record highs, but on the right, his employee retention rate is in freefall. Nearly half of his workforce has quit without explanation. Ethan can buy any competitor or hire any consultant to fix an operational flaw. Yet, despite his resources, he cannot find a single honest reason why his best people are walking out the door. This is the hidden cost of extreme wealth. When you own the building and control the livelihoods of everyone inside it, you lose the ability to hear the truth. The silence Ethan encounters isn't an accident. It's a structural reality of corporate geometry. The distance between the penthouse and the ground floor acts as a natural filter. This is the CEO observer effect. Just as observing a physics phenomenon changes it, a CEO's presence alters boardroom behavior. Feedback distorts traveling up the corporate pyramid. Middle management sanitizes negative reports, recoloring problems as successes before reaching the top. When a billionaire walks onto a floor, people stop acting naturally. They begin a performance, viewing the CEO as a threat to be avoided or an opportunity to be seized. To get his hands on unfiltered data, Ethan has to remove the variable causing the distortion. He must strip away his identity and enter the system as a ghost. The transition is jarring. Ethan leaves the sterile quiet of his penthouse for the creative floor, a place defined by open-plan noise, messy desks, and constant deadline pressure. Now known simply as Ethan Cole, he discovers he lacks the most basic skills for survival in the normal world. He can navigate a $5 billion merger, but he has no idea how to operate a communal coffee machine. His first real interaction comes from Maya, balancing a phone and papers, who slides a coffee mug onto his desk without stopping. She doesn't ask for his credentials or wait for a thank you. She sees a coworker who looks overwhelmed, drops the caffeine, and keeps moving without even making eye contact. For the first time in years, Ethan is experiencing an interaction that hasn't been carefully rehearsed. Maya isn't performing for him, she is simply being a colleague. By shedding his status, Ethan successfully bypassed the observer effect. He found that when people stop looking at your bank account, they finally start looking at your needs. Over the following weeks, Ethan becomes a fixture in the office's smallest spaces, the copy room, the break area, and the desks of people working late into the night. He watches the system fail in real time. He sees Maya staying late to fight for a junior designer's promotion, and he personally experiences the daily, grinding frustration of trying to work with old office equipment that has been broken for months. The truth finally comes out on the rooftop, late at night. Away from the desks and the managers, the city lights below them make the corporate hierarchy feel small and irrelevant. Maya explains the turnover rate to Ethan with brutal simplicity. She tells him that the leadership in the penthouse is completely insulated from the reality of the people doing the work. She notes that the people at the top have no idea what it feels like to work in this building, and more importantly, they have never bothered to ask. The crisis in the company stems from this disconnect. When decision-makers are physically and socially isolated, they lose the ability to see the very problems they are supposed to solve. The experiment collapses the next morning. The creative floor goes silent as an article circulates, showing a photograph of the reclusive billionaire who owns the company. Maya looks at the screen, then at the man sitting 12 feet away. The realization hits her instantly. The colleague she trusted was actually the variable she resented. Her reaction validates Ethan's initial hypothesis perfectly. The moment his power is reintroduced, the air in the room changes. She confirms the core problem with a single sentence. "I would have treated you differently," she says, effectively ending their authentic connection. The physical withdrawal is immediate. Maya leaves the desk and heads for the elevator, letting the steel doors slide shut between them. Power and authentic human connection struggle to occupy the same space. Once the pedestal is back in place, the honesty of the relationship vanishes. Ethan eventually returns to the rooftop to find the resolution to the 47. Maya presents 17 pages of small, ignored failures she's been tracking for years. The entries are mundane: broken equipment, inflexible hours, and a second-floor coffee machine that no one in power bothered to fix. These are the heavy casualties of a vertical corporate structure. Small, solvable truths often lack the perceived importance to travel up the chain of command, so they remain invisible to the top floor until people simply quit. Ethan responds by mandating horizontal integration. He clears his schedule every Thursday to eat lunch on the creative floor, choosing to exist in the environment he once only observed from above. True insight cannot be engineered from a position of absolute elevation. To see the truth of a system, you have to be willing to dismantle your own authority and simply be a person in the room.